Hello and welcome. As a specialist in AI-driven hospitality, I'm so glad you're here to tackle a topic that is absolutely crucial for your career. A big welcome to all the students of Europe Hotel School. Let's get started on this really important part of your professional journey.
Now, I want you to know, what we're covering here isn't just theory you'd read in a textbook. This program is all about giving you practical, real-world skills you can take and use on day one in any hotel. And it's all guided by the very latest in industry experience and best practices.
All right, let's dive right in. Think about it. Our industry, hospitality, is one of the most global industries on the planet. We get to meet people from literally every corner of the world. And because of that, understanding different cultures, well, it's not just a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's a core competency. It's the absolute foundation for providing that kind of service that feels respectful, natural, and truly unforgettable. So, to get started, we really need to wrap our heads around what culture actually is. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine it's like a personal operating system running quietly in the background. It shapes everything: the assumptions we make, how we react, our communication styles, and that goes for both your guests and you. It's influencing every single interaction, whether we realize it or not. So what exactly is this operating system? Well, as you can see here, culture is all about the shared values, the customs, the behaviors that we learn. And that's a key word, learn. We don't inherit it like eye color, we learn it from our families, our communities. And that's exactly why it's so deeply baked into how we, and of course our guests, see the world.
Okay, this is a big, complex topic, right? So to really get a handle on it, we're going to use a fantastic visual tool, the cultural iceberg. This model is honestly brilliant. It helps us organize our thoughts and see what's really going on beyond the surface.
But I get it. This can all feel a bit abstract. So the big question is, how do you visualize something that's so powerful, but at the same time often totally invisible? Well, let's take a look. All right, so when we think about a different culture, what usually comes to mind first? It's the things we can see, right? The food, the language, the way people dress. These are the things we might associate with a country off the top of our head. And yeah, they're important. But here's the thing. They represent just a tiny, tiny piece of what culture really is. This is literally just the tip of the iceberg. But this is where the real learning starts. Because just like a real iceberg, most of it is hidden below the surface. This is the vast, invisible foundation of culture. And these are the things that are actually driving behavior: a person's core values, their style of communication, how they view time, even their concept of what's polite. This is what's really shaping your guests' expectations and how they react to things. Okay, so let's take a deep breath and go below the surface. We're going to explore some of these incredibly powerful, unseen forces that shape our interactions with guests on a really deep level. Because, honestly, this is where genuine understanding comes from.
This is where things get really fascinating, because you see this play out in a hotel every single day. Take communication styles. A guest with a direct style will tell you exactly what they want. But a guest from a culture that prefers an indirect style might just ask, "Is there perhaps another room available?" Now, the stakes here are so high. I actually saw a front desk manager almost lose a huge corporate account over this. They heard the guest's polite, indirect question and just thought they were curious. They didn't see it as a direct request. The guest felt completely unheard, and the whole relationship almost fell apart. That right there is the difference between a simple misunderstanding and a major service failure.
And it doesn't stop there. There are so many other invisible drivers. A person's worldview, that's the lens they see everything through. Their values, that dictates what they believe is right or important. And how about emotional expression? In some cultures, a raised voice means, "This is urgent," not "I'm angry." Getting these nuances right is absolutely critical if we want to avoid misinterpretations. Okay, so now we have this insight, right? We understand there's more than meets the eye. The next logical question is, what do we do with this? How do we actually take this knowledge and turn it into respectful, effective action? At the front desk, in the restaurant, or in any interaction we have with our guests. All right, listen up, because this is probably the single most important distinction we're going to make. We absolutely have to understand the difference between a helpful cultural generalization and a harmful stereotype. A generalization is just a starting point. It's a pattern that can help guide our approach. But a stereotype? That's a rigid, oversimplified endpoint. It shuts down our thinking and assumes everyone from a certain place is exactly the same. And that is a recipe for disaster in our line of work.
So here's the takeaway, the most crucial point of all. We use this general cultural knowledge as a guide, as a starting point, but we always serve the individual person standing right in front of us. Every single guest has their own unique layered identity, and true hospitality, that real five-star excellence, comes from seeing and responding to that individual.
And all of this really brings us to a key realization. Cultural awareness isn't some course you take and then you're done. It's not a box you can just check off. It is an ongoing professional practice. It's a commitment you make for your entire career in this amazing industry.
So, you might be asking, how can I start doing this right now? Well, you can start today with these 4 simple steps. First, just acknowledge your own culture. Recognize that you have a filter you see the world through. Second, approach every interaction with curiosity, like a chance to learn, not a chance to judge. Third, really listen. Pay attention not just to the words, but to the nonverbal cues too. And finally, always try to respond with empathy. Try to see things from your guest's perspective, especially if, it's different from your own.
So, when all is said and done, I want you to remember this key thought. This is not about memorizing a list of facts about every country on Earth. It's about developing a mindset. Cultural awareness is a journey, not a destination. It's a journey of continuous, open-minded learning, and it's fueled by curiosity, not by judgment. That right there, that is the secret to true excellence in international guest relations.
So, I'm going to leave you with one final question to carry with you. As you move forward in your studies and into your career, I want you to ask yourself, what is one assumption I hold that I can consciously challenge today to better understand and serve my very next guest? Thank you.